Hello.
Hey.
Hi, Alexandra.
Hi, everyone. Let me start with Mark. Mark, you created and star in the show. Have there been any changes for season 3?
Not huge changes, but we're just continuing that story. It's interesting for young me, Mark, the character. He comes into the last year of junior high, and so he's gone from when we met him afraid to even go to the school and feeling very unsure about himself. Big change, I guess, was that he's a lot more confident this year. He's top of the food chain at the school, and but this is the year where he'll be saying goodbye to that school. So once he graduates, he'll be moving on to high school and the 90s instead of the 80s. So he's about to be knocked off his feet again. And I think that's the main theme this year is change and growth. All the characters find themselves in a kind of I think a more sure of themselves position, but that just leads to a different type of conflict. So yeah, the main thing is just to keep on moving on and getting older.
Colton, do you have any siblings at home so you could draw on that relationship to play a big brother?
I actually don't. I'm the youngest. I've got an older brother, older sister, so this has just been a joy to finally know what it's like to be able to rat on a younger sibling. That being said, and we've talked about it a lot today, he's got to stop growing, because the second that he's taller than me, I'm gonna feel some things. There will be a man outside ready to take his kneecaps. But until that day, I can't say enough good stuff about this guy. Don't tell him I'm saying it, but he's talented. He's everything I'd want in a younger brother.
Thank you. Likewise.
That's sweet.
Likewise. Shut up. Okay, sorry. Yeah, we hate each other. Yeah. We're too cool to be friends, guys.
It's work only.
Benjamin, you were born in England?
Yes, I am. I'm a Yorkshire lad, so born in England.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so I did some work doing the accent with an accent coach, because obviously it's so particular, the Newfie accent. So I just spent time doing that, and so I know, I've had so just doing that has helped get into the character as well, because already I think accents really help kind of just launch you in to the character, and suddenly you're in Newfoundland and it kind of picks itself up then. So yeah.
How tough is it to do that particular accent?
It took a lot of time to get into it, but I think once I got it in season 1, I think when I picked it up again, I found it a little easier, because you get used to it, muscle memory. And so after the first season, I started to, okay, it's a bit easier to do it now. And maybe I needed a bit less assistance on set, but, I still need to spend about a week or 2 weeks before, I even get out to Newfoundland, just making sure I get back into it, because it's important. It's part of the show that that it is well done, I think, and I think hopefully that's come across.
I had no idea you have an English accent. That is so cool.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
I know, he's incredible. He actually doesn't even stay in the Newfoundland accent while we're shooting. He goes in and out. So he's British when we're off set, and then the minute the camera's rolling, he's back into it. It's quite amazing, actually.
And I have a lot of people back home had no idea he wasn't from Newfoundland, which is the biggest compliment you can get, is when people first find out he has the other accent and they're shocked back home. I'm like, yes, we did it. We pulled it off.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you get the role? Did you do a self-tape from England?
Yeah, I did a self-tape. We sent it across, and then I had a call back. We read the scripts, and even the first couple of drafts just blew me and my family away, and we were really excited. So we had a meeting with you and Tim McAuliffe, who is the co-writer, and yeah, we got along really well. Luckily, I got the role, and then from that point, we did chemistry reads, so to find the roles of Fox, Richie, and Mary as well. Ooh. So that was really fun, and it was cool that I've never really been part of kind of the auditioning process in that way. So it was awesome that you let me do those chemistry reads, and I got to kind of be part of it in a way.
Oh well, Ben totally picked the cast.
Yep.
Because the first
Pick me.
I saw I saw that audition tape, and from our overseas auditions, he was number 3. I still remember the number. And I just called him back and said, how do we get this guy? Because if we had Ben, I realized, like, okay, now we can make it something really special. Because Ben is so talented and so intelligent emotionally as well, that I thought, well, if we get him, then we can write it beyond what you would for a kid that age to do. And I thought, okay, if we have him, we have a chance to make this really special. So we're able to get him somehow. And then when we were talking, we had a list of stuff, and I just said afterwards to Benjamin, I was like, we did all these other auditions. I said, who do you like the best? Who do you feel the most natural with? And he made up he said the names people. They're all the people that I like. So I was like, okay, well, that's done then. We don't even have to talk about it again. So I was like, these people, and that's who we have. And he made all the right choices because everybody's great. And the also thing too was we had a real no jerk rule. So even if somebody's amazing and they're a jerk, it's not happening. We're getting the second best person who's not a jerk. And everybody has been just perfect. So you couldn't ask for anything better.
That's an important rule. No jerks.
Yeah, no need.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did the rest of you, I mean, you're all from Canada, but did the rest of you also have to work on an accent?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, geez,
we had very specific work with a dialect coach, so everybody's accent's a little bit different, which is interesting. I mean, I'm originally from Prince Edward Island, so there is a specific accent there it has a similar tone. But they really wanted different gradations of this accent depending on your age, where you grew up. You know, the kids have less of an accent because they're more influenced by television and a different thing than those of us who are the seniors. And so our accents play out differently. The great thing about my character is that she likes to put on different accents as well. So she has her own accent. The angrier she gets, the thicker it seems to get. And if she's on the phone and she wants to sound, you know, somewhat elegant, she'll put on sort of a Britishy accent.
Yeah.
So she's got a lot of different voices she likes to use for different scenarios. I find it's fascinating.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, Newfoundland was settled by people to fish, and so different places in England and Ireland settled in different places, and then they didn't really move for about 300, 400 years, right? So the accents in different communities are preserved. So a Devon accent in a town in Newfoundland that was populated by people from Devon is more like a time capsule of what that accent was like 300 years ago, because they never really moved or interacted too much until roads came in the 50s and to connect the communities. So the accents are quite different in different places in the island. So there's no Newfoundland accent. There's about 30 of them, you know. So you have to pick your player, like in England, like in the UK.
Yeah, there's like accents in every corner. It's crazy. So yeah, it's similar in Newfoundland. I think everyone's just like, everyone's proud of like how they sound, who they are, and that's why it's preserved so well, and that's why it's so special as a place. So.
Colton, what's been the most interesting plot line for your character in this new season? He's got quite a different direction this year.
Yeah. He's got something big this season. Well, I mean, he has a girlfriend. That's probably one of the biggest. He's finally, outside of Fox and Richie, kind of trying to bring someone else into the family. And, you know, bringing someone home for the first time, suddenly your family gets 100 times more embarrassing, and you're more, like, you have to explain for them. So I think that's probably the biggest. That whole storyline with the character's name is Linda. Yeah, there's some really great stuff coming up. I'm very excited to see how it all panned out.
Benjamin, too, you've got some interesting storylines this year. Which one has been your favorite?
I've really enjoyed Mark starting to like find comfort in entertainment this year. Like, we've seen him before kind of deal with problems with comedy and like whether it's bullying from the Foxes or whatever it is. But now he's starting to see it and go after it in real life stakes. So later on in the series, we see him attempt stand-up in a bar, which is problematic in itself, but he makes it work, and he does an impression of Mike Sr., and that's really fun. And also like a one-man show where he attempts to do all of the characters at once, and I think the main thing that I'm excited for my character this season is really just like him finding entertainment in the real world.
Claire, because so many of you are away from home, does the cast get together when you're filming?
We spend so much time together. It actually sounds a bit ridiculous because it feels like a rehearsed answer when I say it. But it's the best group of people I have ever worked with. And we spend pretty much all of our time together on and off the set in different groupings. There are dinners, there are footy games for the boys, we watch games at the pub together.
Barbie.
We go to the movies, there's barbecues. It's a bit crazy, actually. I mean, I'm amazed at how well everyone gets along, but I do think that actually translates on screen. I think you really see these very, very real, true friendships. I mean, I think I hear from Malcolm once a week when he's away now in Los Angeles. He calls me all the time, and we're just constantly in connection with each other. And I think that's, it's pretty amazing. It really is. Cast and crew, all of us.
And it's really helpful too when you're performing and you have such a good connection with the people you're with. You're more comfortable. You feel safe, and you can take more risks if I put yourself out there more and take a couple of chances and not feel self-conscious at all when you're performing with each other. And it keeps it loose in between takes too, you know. And it's just it couldn't really be any better, I don't think.
No.
Well, I just want to thank everyone for chatting with me today about this show. It's so funny and heartwarming and just so much fun to watch.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Really appreciate it.